will be remembered. He did bring professional sports to a football team, NFL team, to Carolina. Mm-hmm. He did do that.
To a region.
To a region that really is college heavy. So he did do that.
Yep.
But he's going to be remembered for why he had to sell this team. Jerry Richardson's history on with race issues is undeniable. Skip, co-founded, I think it was Hardee's and Denny's.
Correct.
And in 93, 94, he had to pay over $54 million settlement for discriminatory practices.
Yep.
He also entered into a settlement with an African-American scout, and when he addressed him in a racial slur.
He did.
And then the bombshell was this Sports Illustrated article. And through an outside investigation,
It was mostly about sexual harassment.
Right.
Yeah.
Through an outside investigation, they came in and said these claims were substantiated. And he was forced. He had no choice.
No.
The NFL was going. He did before the NFL was going to ask him to, because they don't want that, Skip. And so Jerry Richardson, this is the last thing on his resume, but it's going to move to the top of his resume, Skip. This is how he's going to be remembered, Skip.
Yeah.
This is unfortunately this is it. When Cam Newton came out, he asked Cam, "You have any tattoos?" "No, sir." "You have any body piercing, earrings?" "No, sir." "Good, keep it that way." Huh? Do you believe he would have asked Peyton Manning, Andrew Luck, any of those questions? Absolutely not.
And by the way, soon after they drafted Cam #1 overall, he asked him, "You didn't get crazy on draft night and go out and get some tattoos, right, that I need to take a look at?" "No, sir." "No, sir."
But my thing is, Skip, hold on. I don't even know why David Tepper, I think that was the new owner, why he even agreed that the statue had to stay up. Skip, how the hell you going to...
It was part of the deal. Yes.
Skip, how are you going to sell... Okay, oh, man, I love that house. I'm going to buy the house. What do you want for it? Okay, I'll pay that. But I got to leave your picture up in the bedroom. What the hell? What I got to... No.
Or your statue out on the lawn.
Yes. So basically, you got to leave my picture up so everybody can see it. Skip, look, I know what they're saying right now, but they've always wanted to remove this statue knowing what he represented.
Yep.
And this was an opportunity. It's almost very different, though. If you look at Skip, the officer that did what he did to George Floyd, his wife is divorcing him. Well, she always wanted a divorce, but this was an easy way out. They always wanted to take this statue down. Now they got, Skip, I think right now we don't want anything to happen to it. They would love something to happen to that statue. It would save them the headache of having to explain. Now, the question is Mr. Richardson, because it's in the contract, Skip, the statue stays. So is there any legal issues that might face Mr. Tepper? I hope not, but Skip, this was the right thing to do. It was absolutely the right thing to do. And Mr. Richardson, his resume, his discriminatory practices, his racial slurs in addressing certain African-American employees, and his behavior, assault, that's on his resume, Skip. And unfortunate, I don't know if it's unfortunate, but it's going to outweigh what he did to bring a professional football team to Carolina.
There might have been another way to eliminate the statue. Just leave it outside, right? Because I'm not sure it would have lasted much longer. Am I right?
They take it down, statue, you're absolutely right. You see what they did to Christopher Columbus? They took his head off.
Took the head off. Decapitated it.
And in Britain, they took down they took a whole statue and threw it in the ocean.
They did. That was in Britain, by the way.
Yeah.
So, Shannon, it's shameful to me that there was this statue in the first place. It's given this man's history. This is about as close as you can get to one of the Civil War statues that people are so offended by now.
Right.
It's at least in the ballpark. And I remind everyone, it came into being because the minority owners of the Panthers, when Jerry Richardson turned 80 back in 2016, decided to give him a gigantic statue, an oversized statue of himself. It's 13 feet tall, weighs almost 5,000 pounds. And when I say minority owners, I'm not talking about their skin color.
Right.
I'm talking about the shares that they held were fewer than his shares. So they're going to honor the majority shareholder with a statue.
Right.
That's how it came into being. And of course, Mr. Richardson loved that statue probably as much as anything that anybody ever gave him. And he loved it so much, he wanted it in perpetuity to be part of this deal.
Yes.
So I want to go back to what you pointed out. As he was applying for ownership in the National Football League, his track record in the restaurant business was getting worse and worse.
Yes.
It's a little shameful to me that he even got approved to become an NFL owner. When you look at the depth and breadth of the violations, because he had been sued, as you point out, multiple times by black people through the Denny's chain, accused of segregating black patrons and requiring them to